This section just talks about how to simplify and solve for the variable when you've got maybe variables on both sides, you've got parentheses on both sides, you just have a lot of steps you've got to do first before you can solve. Okay, so as an example, I think it was even on the textbook check, I'll do this one for the group. Minus. Okay. All right. So the goal here is to get all variables on one side, all constants on the other, and then solve for x. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to have to do is simplify both sides. So I'm going to distribute the 2, and then just write this again. Don't have to do anything in this step. And then I'm going to distribute, and anytime you see a negative right next to a parenthesis, you can always assume there's a 1 there. So it's the same thing as distributing -1 in. Okay, it's a good habit to get into to just recognize that you're multiplying -1 times that parenthesis. Hello?
You're not running?
Yeah.
No, because of my
Okay. Bye. Kyle?
Oh, shit, so interesting.
Okay, and so when I distribute the -1 in, I have -2x plus 3. Everybody see that? This is the easiest place to make a mistake, and so many do. You just maybe distribute it to the 2, and then you forget about the -3, and you just tell me that's -3, and you forget you're multiplying -1 times both terms. Okay? Now I'm going to simplify further. So I have 6x and 2x, that's 8x. And I have 5 and 3, that's 8. Still with me? Okay. And now I'm going to get the x's on one side, the constants on the other. Just do it in one step here. And then divide by 10. X is 1. Okay. Now, I think in WebWork, there's some problems where they're asking you if there's one solution, infinitely many, no solution. So when you are all done and you get x equals 1, that's a pretty finite solution. X is 1. Sometimes, though, your x terms might drop out. As an example, if I have something like this, and I'm solving for x, if I subtract 2x from both sides, my variable terms go away. And all I'm left with is 3 equals -7. When is 3 equal to -7?
Never.
Never. So the answer to this one is no solution. Okay? If, on a different note, my x's drop out and I'm left with this, 2 equals 2 always, so there's infinitely many. Okay, so that's how you answer those questions in WebWork. If you get a finite solution, x equals 3, one solution. If you get at the end a number doesn't equal another number, it doesn't make any sense, no solution. If you get a number is equal to itself, that's always true, infinitely many.
Even if the variable is dropped out?
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you think about this from graphing, and hopefully you guys remember how to graph, and we're going to review it. If I were to graph both of these equations, this one tells me the y-intercept 7 and my slope is 2. This has the same slope, different y-intercept. So what do we know about these two lines? They're parallel lines. So they're never going to cross. There's never going to be a time they intersect. And when we solve for a variable, that's what we're doing, is we're trying to figure out where these two lines intersect. That's essentially what we're doing. Okay? Here, if I were to graph this equation, I could show you that the two lines intersect where x is 3. Okay, if their slopes are the same, they're never going to intersect, so there's no solution. Okay, and then if they are the same number, that means it's the same exact line, and they're always going to intersect, infinitely many. Okay, so when you get to a problem like that on WebWork, you know how to tell the difference between one solution, no solutions, infinitely many. Okay. That's really it. This should, again, be, we're really in the reviewing of Algebra 1 concepts here so that I know you're ready to move on to Algebra 2. So we really aren't in Algebra 2 yet. We're doing a lot of review. Okay, so if it's not review, then maybe either you didn't quite understand things in Algebra 1, maybe you didn't ask questions, you didn't pay attention, I don't know. But I'm doing kind of a crash course in the things that you need to know in Algebra 1 before we can really start Algebra 2 concepts. Okay? All right. Don't forget CK12 extra credit,
I have a question.
and then web work.
If we get 100 on our quiz, can we get 110%?
Yep. In fact,